guys, Dreku Life here. I'm back with another video for you today. Well, it's actually night where I live. Probably it's Sunday or Saturday afternoon by you guys. But now getting into the video, I decided to create a what if today. And this what if was inspired by Mr.Dreku. He said that I'm good at my what ifs. And if I check out my YouTube studios, I will see. So I did, and I saw a lot of love on my what ifs. So I decided that could get me more views. So today, I'll be working on a new what if called What If Deku Was a Nomu? This what if would begin with young Izuku saying to himself, I want to be just like All Might, Mom. Inko would be supportive like a mother should be and said, I know Izuku, you will be just like All Might. Sadly, Midoriya would be struck heart and be disappointed at what the doctor told him. Sadly, kid, you can't be a doctor, you can't be a hero, you're quirkless. Inko would say, isn't that a little too much? The doctor would say, you have to tell the child facts. If you don't, he's gonna grow up and then die. Midoriya would start crying, and Inko would hug her child, claiming the doctor that to be a bad man. The doctor would feel a little bad taking Midoriya's quirk, but it was the best because All for One was going to kill him. Midoriya got home, and Inko supported him, telling him that he could be just like All Might even without a quirk. Midoriya smiled and said, yeah, okay, Mom, I'll do my best. The next day at school, Midoriya went to school and all the kids bullied him because he was quirkless. Bakugo even decided to call him Deku! Midoriya cried and his self-esteem went down a lot. One day he was walking home and instead of taking the short way home, he decided to take the long way to go and see the flower meadows he loves to see all the time. Going through a special alleyway that he named himself Long Way Home. He was met by a guy with white hair and then instantly teleported into a cafe. He was shocked and turned around to see a girl with a bat whacking him, and then he passed out. He could hear mumbling voices saying, you should have do something. And he opened his eyes to see that he was in a tube with some special liquid. He was able to breathe because he had a gas tank connected on the outside of the tube, and the tube that connected the gas tank was located on his mouth and his nose. He looked around and he couldn't really move at all. The villains looked at him and smiled, saying, you're my true project. A guy said that who has hands around his body. You're a good project. I might call you the ultimate Nomu. You still look human, but you have no more abilities. It's amazing. A girl commented that, wait, so he has regeneration, right? Shigaraki? The guy named Shigaraki looked and said, yes, Toga. He does have regeneration. Toga said, oh, goody. That means I can starve him as much as I want. Midoriya heard the word starve and suddenly got frightened. The heartbeat started to act up for Midoriya. Shigaraki noticed and said, what have you done, Toga? Toga said, I haven't done anything. I was just being myself. Shigaraki said, well, don't do that then. The glass started to crack, and all the villains admired how Midoriya was breaking out of the cage. Well, the tank he was in. It cracked once more, again, and again, until the villains all knocked on the door. Shigaraki told Kirigiri to go and open the door, and heroes burst in, coming to save Midoriya. Midoriya let out a scream that no one was able to hear, destroying the glass completely. Midoriya fell out and passed out, waking up in a bed and lying down with tubes in his arms, giving him nutrients. He looked up and saw his mom crying there and a doctor. The doctor ordered the nurse to tell him what was going on. The nurse told him that he has been tampered with and his body has been messed up badly. Those villains and cruel things to him, and when she was about to explain, she started crying. That made Inko cry more. Midoriya looked at a mirror and he saw that he looked different. His skin was pale and before, and instead of having that amazing green hair, his hair was fully white. The doctor said there is a way to reverse some of the effect. Midoriya smiled, saying, "Yes, do it, please." They did it, and they told Midoriya it has a risk of killing him. He said, "I don't care. Do it. I can't look like this. I'll get bullied even more." The nurse smiled and said, "Well, okay. The procedure will take 7 hours. When the procedure is over, Midoriya looked a little more human, with his skin not being that pale and his hair getting back some green color. He still had the gigantic horn on his head, but his eyes were different. He had scars all over his body, and he had a regenerative system. He had superhuman strength, and he had a special shock absorption ability. He said, "Well, at least I have a quirk now." When Midoriya came back to school the next day, and Bakugo greeted him saying, "Well then, you really look like a monster, don't you, Deku?" Midoriya turned around, saying, "What did you call me, Kachan?" Bakugo grinned, saying, "You think you can stand up next to me, huh, Deku?" Midoriya smiled, saying, "Yes, I can! And I'll show you, Kachan. I'll show you that I'm better than you." Bakugo's hands started to spark with explosions, shouting, "Well then, die, Deku!" Midoriya dodged the explosion easily, seen it coming way before Bakugo could have done it, and punching Bakugo in the stomach. Bakugo felt his ribs cracking, and he could feel the organs bursting, and vital organs and veins shattering. Bakugo's eyes widened in shock at the strength Midoriya had, and Bakugo coughed out blood. When Midoriya finished with his blow, Bakugo was knocked out and flew several meters away, landing in the middle of the road. Midoriya walked off back into school, and everyone called him the ultimate beast. Midoriya didn't want all his popularity, and he wanted to just be alone, because he knew they were only calling him that just because of what he could have done. Sadly, Midoriya wouldn't get one fall in the story, but he would enter UA exams. The written exams would be a breeze for Midoriya, because he was already naturally smart. The practical exams would be a little challenge. Everyone would give him different looks and glares. And a random girl named Mina Ashido would say, Horn Gang, Midoriya would grin, saying, "Well, Horn Gang." Midoriya would get ready to run off using his superhuman abilities and running. He would be faster than Ida and jumping over buildings, destroying monsters. He would set a rack-up point by destroying 3-pointers, 2-pointers, and 1-pointers. Minutes later, the entire arena, the students for the practical exams, heard a gigantic boom. They all looked in the direction of that boom, and saw the gigantic 0-pointer robot. Everyone started running except Midoriya. He saw a girl over there. He saw her underneath some rocks and said that if she dies, it will be all his fault because he saw her and wasn't be able to save her. Midoriya would run and jump up to the robot, punching the robot, but not being have any strength of one fall. The robot will create a gigantic dent in the robot without destroying it. He would give the robot a few more punches, and then punch inside the robot's face, then pulling out a gigantic wire, making the robot collapse and power off. He would fall back to the floor, and the girl would thank him, telling him her name is Ochako Uderaka. Midoriya would smile, saying, "Izuku Midoriya." They would both chagrin, and they would both walk. And Ochako would be taken to the medical center for the injuries, and Midoriya, with his healing factor, would just walk home. All Might would greet him on a hologram with a smile, and tell him that he came first in UA exams, and he was the first person to beat his high score in a very long time. Midoriya smiled, saying that I did it. I really am on my way to become a #1 hero. I hope you guys enjoyed, and here's my outro.